All right. So we're going to start with waking the chi. As with other times, you can do it from a chair. It's easy enough to do from a chair, but if you're able to, it's good to do it from the floor. So getting into your seated position. And we'll take just a few moments to just settle, tune into our body, our breath, and our energy. So slowing your breathing down so it becomes deep and full. And feeling the movement of your breath through your body. Deep, slow, full, relaxed breaths. And then we'll start to move. So take a deep breath in. And breathe out, reaching forwards, bending forwards. Breathe in, sit up. Breathe out, bend forwards. Breathe in, sit up. Breathe out, forwards. Breathe in, sit up. And breathe out. Breathe in. And one more, breathe out. Breathe in, coming up. And breathe out, opening to the sides. Palms press out, then turning the hands upwards. Breathe in, raise the hands. Breathe out, lower to shoulder height. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in. Last one. And out. Leaving your arms at shoulder height. Turn and look to one side. Then turn to the other. Turn. 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 And turn. Bring your head to the front. Lowering your hands and massaging up and down either side of the spine. Knocking with loose fists. Open your hands wide. Knocking forward and back. Forward, back. Opening your hands wide. Bringing them down into your lower back. Rubbing your hands up and down, up and down, up and down. Open your hands wide, bring them up to your neck. squeezing the muscles on each side of your neck. And then rubbing your hands forwards, over your head, over your face, back, and forwards, and back, and forwards, and back. Opening your hands wide, bringing them down into your lower back. One more time, placing your hands into your lower back and breathe. Deep, relaxed breaths, letting the energy from your hands soak into your kidneys. From there, it supports your spine, your brain, the rest of your body. Deep, gentle, relaxed breaths. And then opening the hand wide. Coming up to the head one more time, guiding your hands forwards and back, not touching the surface this time. Using the energy radiating from your hands to massage deep into your head, into your brain. Deep, relaxed breath. Opening wide. Bring your hands in front this time. Palms facing up. And we'll pause for just a moment and breathe there. I'm going to let someone in. It's come a little bit late. Now turning the top hand down. And turn. And turn. And turn. So as we turn the energy between the hands, we also turn the energy in the dantian, in the center of the body. Turn. 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 Last one. Turn. And then extending one leg out to the back, extending the arms on the same side. Look at each hand. We breathe in, fold our arms, breathe out, extend to the other side. Look at each hand. Breathe in, we fold, breathe out, extend. Look at each hand. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Changing legs, so we breathe in, fold our arms, extend the other leg out as we breathe out. Look at each hand, breathe in and out. 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 Putting your leg back down as we fold our arms. Now extending one leg to the front and extend the opposite hand forward. Look at each hand. Breathe in. We're going to change our leg each time now. Breathe out. Extend the other leg to the front. Extend the arms. Look at each hand. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. And out. Breathe in, last one. And breathe out. Putting your foot flat on the floor. Breathe in, standing. And breathe out. Lowering your arms. Breathe in, rise. Breathe out, sink. Breathe in, out. Breathe in, and out. Breathe in, out. One more, breathe in, and out. Breathe in. This time as we breathe out, sinking all the way to the ground, brushing your hands on the floor if you're able to. Breathe in and come up. Breathe out, swing down. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Last one. Breathe out. Bringing your hands forwards. Breathe in. Deep breath in. Then hold your breath. Breathe out. Press your hands and sink. Breathe in. Deep breath in. Hold your breath. And breathe out. Breathe in. Deep breath in. Hold your breath. And breathe out. Breathe in 2 more. Deep breath in. Hold your breath. And breathe out. Last one. Deep breath in. Hold your breath. And breathe out. Breathe in. Out. Breathe in. We bring the arms up folded. Breathe out. Open them wide to the sides. We pull down as we open. Breathe in. Relax the arm. Breathe out. Pull down to the sides. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Bring your hands all the way up now. And we'll just stir side to side, drifting our hands side to side. Stirring the clouds, letting the energy flow through our whole body, gently loosening the whole body with the swaying movement so the energy can pass through more freely. Next, thunder. So lift one foot and stomp it down. Lift the other foot and stomp it down. Lift, stomp. So we feel the vibration come right through our whole body, vibrating up from the legs, up through the torso, up through the arms, up through the neck and head. The vibration breaks free any blockages, allowing the energy to pass through. Okay, breathe in, raise your hands, and breathe out, drop them down. Lightning. Breathe in, breathe out. Rapid descent of the energy. Breathe in, breathe out. 2 more. Breathe in, breathe out. 1 more, last one. Breathe in and breathe out. And we'll stand. And as we stand nice and relaxed in a neutral posture, stand as if you're standing in a gentle rain. So ideally we feel a gentle wash of energy down over our whole body, washing down, cleansing, refreshing, renewing, clearing any blockages, releasing down into the earth. So continue to stand in this position, neutral position, letting the energy wash downwards. I just need to change something else. Let's see. There we go. Washing down, washing down. So today we're going to do some quite fiery practice. We're going to do some dragon practice. And this can be really useful. So it doesn't just stimulate the fire, it also helps to release the fire, because we bring it up and then we let it release outwards. Also within the practices, we counterbalance with water. So we don't do the fire just by itself. There's water present there as well to stop the fire from being too intense. So it allows us to bring up that fiery energy and release it outwards. So we'll start with a few extra watery movements and practices to begin with, and then we're going to move into some dragon, which will help to release some of the fire we may have stuck inside. But to begin with, we bring our hands together and simply breathe in, coming up, and breathe out, lowering down. Breathe in, coming up, breathe out, lowering down. Breathe in. So this simple movement, it helps to center and align all of the energy in our body. Breathe out, but particularly around the spine. Breathe in. And of course, the spine being supported by the water element. So we're starting to make sure that our water is healthy and balanced, ready to be called on as we need to in the rest of our practices and in the rest of our daily activities. So breathe in, coming up, centering and aligning, balancing left and right. Breathe out, descending down. We'll do a couple more of these. Breathe in, coming up, and breathe out, down. One more. Breathe in, and breathe out. This time breathe in, bring your hands up into the center of your chest, stepping your feet close together, sinking your knees, turning your shoulders across to one side, your hips go to the other side, and we're going to extend our hands out slowly to one side, then turn the hands over and bring them back across to the other side. Turn. So we're continuing to work with our spine, with our water element. You can maybe feel the gentle stretching through each side of your spine and creating a sinuous movement all the way up through your whole spine as we move side to side. You might also feel there's a specific little pulling stretch down into the area of your lower back, your kidneys, activating that kidney energy, that water energy to support the spine, the free movement of energy up and down through the spine. So we'll start to come down a little bit lower. So now each time as we go to the side, we'll sink down a little bit more, and then a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Bring your hands right down, close to the floor, and then we'll start to gradually come up, freeing the spine, getting the energy to flow smoothly through the spine and through the whole body. And now, same thing, coming up higher. Each time just a little bit higher, a little bit higher. And come all the way up, and then bring your hands back down in front of your chest, stepping your feet back to shoulder width apart, and lowering your hands. All right, so we'll get into some of these dragon exercises. So we're going to make loose fists. The first one's very simple, turning side to side, turning and knocking. So as we turn side to side, we let our hands swing, and with the loose fists, naturally as our arms swing, it pulls the energy outwards. There's some momentum pulling our energy from our center outwards, and we let those loose fists knock against our body. And as they knock against our body, again, it further helps to bring the energy out to the surface. One of the key qualities of fire energy is that it's expansive. And so we're drawing the energy outwards, bringing it out to the surface. Now you can focus on knocking on the different specific parts of your body as you do this. But for now, you can just let your hands knock wherever you like, or you can try varying where they knock. See if you can let them swing so they strike different parts of your body. And of course, as we do this as well, we continue to loosen through the spine, getting that energy flowing freely through our spine. Keep breathing nice, deep, and relaxed. Side to side. Get a bit of rhythm, relax into it. You might find as you continue with this movement, we're going to spend a while longer, let ourselves really get into it. You might find that as you do that, you feel like you want to swing a bit stronger. You want to let the movement get stronger, more momentum. Or alternatively, you might find that it feels good to you to do it a little bit more gentle. That's fine as well. Really freeing up the spine, bringing the energy to the surface. Okay, next movement, as we swing to one side, we're going to bring both hands up and over, and then they swing down. Then both hands come up and over. So both hands are swinging in a figure of 8 pattern, swinging through. Now, as you do this, you may notice, of course, we're still bringing energy out to the surface. And as well as that, we have this pattern where as we swing, our hips and our shoulders are moving in opposite directions. So again, there's a specific twist going on through our spine as we do this, quite gentle. It's just coming from the swinging figure of 8 movement, but a fluid twisting, hips and shoulders moving in opposite directions. So again, let yourself have some momentum. Hands are in loose fists. Let that momentum bring your energy out. Next one, from here, as our hands swing backwards, our hands will come forwards, and now we're going to swing forwards with one arm on each side of our body. So double circles forwards. And of course, we get some momentum going as we do this. And the stimulation through our body changes. When we were doing the figure of 8, we had some specific twisting going through the spine. Now what we have is we have a wave-like motion traveling up through our spine. You might be able to feel as you continue with this that there's this wave coming up through your spine, getting all of that energy to flow freely. And again, you can choose to do the movement faster or slower, according to what feels good to you. And we'll change, going the other way, coming back. Both arms circling backwards. And again, we still have this wave traveling through our spine. Next one, easy for some, challenging for others. We'll start with our hands high, and we're going to circle in opposite directions. So our hands, one drops forward, the other drops back. We let that movement continue through, so the other one rises at the back, the other one rises at the front. So each arm is making a full circle, but one is forwards and one is back. And ideally, we get, again, a bit of rhythm, a bit of momentum going with this. And as you do this movement, you may notice that now we have twisting between the shoulders and the hips, and also a wave. So we're really getting the energy moving in our spine in a more sophisticated way, freeing that energy up. Bring your hands back up to the top. We can then change direction. So whichever one was going forwards, let it come back, and vice versa. Bring that through, and see if you can get some momentum. Twisting and a wave at the same time, moving through your spine. Okay, bringing the hands high again. This time, as we lower the hands, the front arm crosses over and out. Now we bring the other arm through, over and out, other arm, over, out, over, out. So it's figure of 8 with one arm at a time. And again, we get some momentum. Let our arms swing. Let it draw the energy outwards. Some interesting coordination going on with this one as well, doing this figure of eight swinging. We're changing between same side and opposite side motion. So we're getting some interesting, valuable stimulation of our neurological pathways so that it's more easily able to switch between sides of coordination within the brain. Okay, now as the arm swings backwards, so both arms are behind, then it's like we grab something and we pull it through. We let our arms swing down and back. It's like we grab something behind us and then pull it through. So swing down, grab something, pull it through. Swing down, grab, pull it through. And again, we start to get a bit more rhythm with this if we're comfortable with that. And at this point, we've been doing lots of things, circulating the energy within our body, bringing it to the surface of our body with these sharp movements. At the end of this movement, we start to release the energy out from our body. So we bring it not just to the surface, but out. We're throwing the energy so it starts to come out into our field around us. We start to release some of that energy from inside into the external space around us. Okay, from here with our hands in front, we continue with this process of releasing the energy outwards. We're going to do it throwing out to the sides, and then we bring the energy back in. So we throw out, bring in, throw out, bring in, throw out, bring in. Releasing that energy out. A few more. From the hands in front. Now we're going to do a similar thing, but instead of to the sides, up and down. So we lift upwards, and then we throw down. Lift up, throw down. Lift up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Start to feel that energy release outwards. A few more. Last one. And then we stand. Again, a neutral posture, aware of our body, aware of our breath. Your breath might be going a bit fast now, and that's okay. Let it go as fast as it needs to, but gradually slowing it down. And then also aware of our energy. And you might have some awareness of the energy active inside you, but not only that, radiating out into the space around you, spreading out, almost like you're a flame. So your body is the wick, And the energy releases out to create the flame around you, filling the space around you with energy. So we let this continue. We let that energy continue to release outwards. So through the practice, both stimulating our fire energy and then also releasing any fire energy that might have been built up, stuck inside, letting it release outwards. So overall, we balance and harmonize our fire. We bring it to a healthy state of activity and flow. And if there was excess, we let that be released outwards so we can have that healthy balance inside. So again, gradually letting your breath slow, still aware of your body, aware of your breath, aware of your energy, both in your body and surrounding you. And you might find, as we continue to stand, that energy around you doesn't go away, but it starts to become more gentle as well. Instead of the strong stimulation immediately after doing the movements, this outwards flow starts to become more gentle. Deep, slow, relaxed breaths. We'll stand for just a little longer. Then we'll do another practice to just further help to calm our energy, bring it to a nice, healthy state of balance, equilibrium. A few more breaths, standing. And we'll move into the 5 waves practice. Nice and gentle to calm our energy right down, while still keeping it flowing healthily. Okay, so sink into your posture just a little, and then breathe in, raising your arms in front. Breathe out, sink, back down. Breathe in, raise. Breathe out, sink. Breathe in, working with the earth element as we sink. We feel ourselves become grounded, stable, solid. Breathe in. Breathe out, grounding ourselves. One more, breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Now this time opening wide. And breathe out. Closing in front. Breathe in. So again, working with the expansive quality of fire. And breathe out, but this time in a very gentle way. Breathe in, expand, open. And breathe out. Close, sink. Breathe in. And out. One more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now breathe in, raising your hands up. And drifting side to side. Using this movement for wood. So I want to be tall, long, flexible. Deep, relaxed breaths. Loosening through the sides of our body. We're doing these elements in the order of the draining cycle. So the draining cycle is really good for clearing any blocked or stuck energy and helping it to flow freely through so it doesn't become stuck in one phase or another. It moves freely from one to the next. And breathe in, lift your hands up. Breathe out, turning your hands towards you, lowering down slowly. Breathe in, so we're back to working with water. Breathe out, so a gentle rain descending, using our hands to guide this gentle rain downwards. Breathe in, out. Breathe in, out. Breathe in and out. Now breathe in, raise your arms up in front, draw them back to your shoulders. Breathe out, sink and press. Breathe in, drawing back. Breathe out, sink and press. The metal element, breathe in. Breathe out. The metal element creates strong boundaries, so you might feel the surface of your body become stronger as we do this. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Lowering your hands. Breathe in, expanding out to the sides and out. Breathe in fact, expanding in all directions, just your arms open to the sides and out. Breathe in, using this movement to harmonize all of the five and out. Breathe in and out. One more. Breathe in and out. And just let ourselves settle into the neutral posture again. Bringing your hands onto your lower abdomen in front of your lower dantian. And we'll just let the energy settle, stabilize inside. Deep, slow, relaxed breaths, just letting the energy center and balance. Okay, I think we'll finish our practice there for today. But we've got some time, we can have some discussion. Let's see, so I will allow everyone to unmute themselves if they wish. All right, so how was that? Fairly energetic. So Denise in the chat says, I love Dragon. That felt fantastic. Very full of energy now. Good. Jennifer says, just what I needed. Wonderful session as always. Thank you. So Denise is doing the Introduction to Qigong Healing course, which she's working on at the moment this week. I've felt a bit drained and this feels like what I needed. Yeah, it's really useful to be able to work with different practices to build your energy in different ways. Of course, within Qigong healing work, ideally as we practice, we learn to find a balance doing that, so we don't allow that to drain us. We make sure we're always bringing enough fresh energy in to support us in our work. And it is natural. Denise says, yeah, I'm still learning apparently. Yeah, it is natural that sometimes you might become, you know, as you're learning, you might not always get that balance right. So it is great to be able to consciously within your practice, be able to do whatever it is you need to build yourself up. If you do find that you've allowed yourself to become too drained or something like that. Let's see if there's comments that I've missed. So Martha says, it was definitely energizing, but some of the sharp arm movements seem to pinch my neck. Okay, let's talk about that for a moment. Yeah, so essentially there can be a tendency because when we do, so how much detail shall I go into? So yin and yang generally relate to, well, lots of different things, but including the hard and soft surfaces of our body. So so the front of our body tends to be more yin and soft, and the back of our body tends to be more yang. Yin and yang relates to slow and fast as well. So when we do fast movements, naturally, we tend to engage the back of our body more. And as part of that, we can tend to kind of jerk and pull. It's actually not just with our neck, it's with other muscles on the back of our body as well. But of course, the neck being a relatively weak spot, sometimes we feel that more. Now, our aim, even when we're doing fast movements, is ideally to still have a balance between yin and yang within that, with the front and the back of the body. So what you can do to help to get yourself into a healthy pattern with that is to do some of these movements slower to begin with, and with awareness of what's happening, or, you know, the front of the body or the back of the body engaging, and get it so that you're not pulling back too much within those movements, so that you can do it without any kind of jerking through there. And then gradually you can then start to go, okay, a bit faster, and I can do it faster and still not jerk, and a bit faster. And then if you start to find yourself, oh, actually, I'm pulling there, okay, I need to slow down and practice a bit more. Until then, you can go really fast without creating any kind of strain there.
Great. That was helpful, because I wasn't sure how to readjust, get that to stop. So that's excellent. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. Just what I mean, there's different ways to work with different things, but often slowing them down and then speeding them up again is a good way to sort out different issues.
Okay. Thanks.
Let's see, where are some of these other chats? So Alessia says, after leopard and dragon, I'm definitely kaput now. Yeah, it can be tiring. And she says, I got very dizzy in the arms figure of 8 movements. Yeah, so again, probably a matter of slowing it down first and then speeding it back up again. So Denise says, with the arm circles forward, the energy seemed to want to pull a bit in my neck at the base of my skull, but switching circles backward, that helped a bit. That's great. Again, it's good to have this awareness, because this will be related to different patterns and habits within your body. And when I say habit, it's not always just a movement habit. It can be a habit of just how the tissues are functioning, which can relate to injuries and, you know, all sorts of things. But if you are aware of places where it's getting stuck and so on, you can slow it down, as we've talked about, and things like that, and consciously work on allowing it to move through those stuck places. So balancing it out so it can move through more freely. So John Grafton says, very energizing, quite hot now. When we were doing the rotating the arms alternately in a figure 8, I found my brain not working for my left side. Rotations got confused. Yeah, so that's a good thing to work on. To work on some of these movements by themselves. There's quite a lot of coordination involved within the dragon movements, because we're working very much with the spine, with the central nervous system, and so part of it, as well as what's happening externally with the body, is we are working with some of our neurological patterning, and so it can take a bit of practice to bring that together. So they are well worth spending some time just focusing on a particular movement, and so that you can develop that coordination. Once you have that coordination, or once you've got it well wired in, it becomes a bit like riding a bike. You don't really have to think about it anymore. It's something that your body's figured out how to do. Beth Martin says, I had the swinging arm movements down pat until today. Well, there goes your body just remembering what to do. Sometimes that will happen as well, but generally you'll remember. It's interesting how things vary day to day within us sometimes. So Lewis says, with the double arm figure 8, you mentioned shoulders and hips going in opposite directions. They seem to be going the same direction for me, so you can review that one. Thanks. Yeah, sure. So when we're doing this hip may want to go a little bit backwards, but overall, because our feet are on the ground, it can't travel very far in this direction. So this means there's going to be some forward pressure in this hip, while our shoulders are going this way, and there's going to be forwards pressure through our hip in the other direction. Yeah. Then as we change to the other side, so this shoulder's going backwards, there will be some forwards pressure in this hip in the other direction. Now, it may come a little bit, but there's only so far it can go because our feet are attached to the ground. Otherwise, we'd have to, and they'd both go. So whether you can choose to consciously emphasize this more by, instead of letting your hips swing as much, by choosing to push your hip forward at the same time as you bring your arms back. But one way or another, there will be a little bit of opposite motion there. Just how much? If you let your hip go, it'll be just a very little bit of opposite motion. If you push your hip forward, it'll be a stronger twisting motion through there. Okay, so Beth says, I have a broader question. I have a distinct yawn, usually only one, during my practices. I think it happens during every practice. So one of the things that yawning does is it balances the internal pressure within the body, and specifically it relates to balancing the blood gases. So if our energy has become stagnant because we haven't been breathing deeply enough, or equally, this can actually happen if we've been breathing fast and shallow, and so the pressures internally have got out of balance as part of this, and generally what this will mean is, the energy has become stuck or stagnant to some degree within our system. The yawn is a way for our body to rebalance those pressures internally, so that then everything can start to flow more freely. So it's not a bad thing to have that yawn. It's part of your body's natural way of adapting and adjusting. What it does indicate is that in some of your activities, things are getting a little bit out of balance. And so ideally, as you develop healthier habits over time, your tendency to yawn as much starts to decrease. So, and of course, as we practice Qigong, hopefully those habits that we develop during our Qigong sessions then carry over into other aspects of our life, and little by little those habits improve. So it's likely that you may find, as you continue to practice, that after some time you don't have that yawn all the time, because you're not actually needing to rebalance those pressures because they're already closer to imbalance. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, hopefully, I mean, definitely an energizing practice. Hopefully, good and feels good in lots of other ways for people. As I mentioned, the purpose of this practice, the purpose with many of our practices, you know, when we work on a particular element or something like that, it's not always just about building that element. It's about balancing that element. So by doing these very fiery practices, we build the fire, but we also release the fire. And so they're effective whether we had too little or too much fire. If it had too little, it helps to build it up. If we had too much or the fire was stuck, it helps to release that and then bring us back to a stable balance level within us. So something that's well, I guess again, it's relevant in both winter and summer. In winter, often we need to build our fire more. In summer, sometimes there's the tendency for the fire to build up too much and become stuck. This is what's sometimes referred to in Chinese medicine as summer heat. And there's a whole lot of syndromes that relate to that, to the heat building up and issues that it causes. And so in those instances, we want to be able to release that fire outwards. I guess in a way it's analogous to something that some of you may be familiar with. The idea that drinking hot water in summer, and this is often in the form of some kind of tea, but it can just be hot water, is often more effective at cooling you than drinking cold water. Now, that's not universally true. Sometimes drinking cold water is better. But as a principle, often drinking hot water is actually quite effective at cooling you during summer, because what it does is that hot water, of course, it does add some heat to your system, but it then helps you to open the pores of your skin, which then allows you to release the heat. So that little increase of heat internally actually helps you to release an excess of heat. So that's a little, again, some of you may have been aware of that one already or not, but that's a useful principle. And to some extent, we use the same kind of principle, certainly in what we've done today, working with the fire, but with other things as well. Sometimes you actually introduce more in order to release and bring back into balance and harmony. There's lots of different ways we can work with the elements. Okay, thank you, everyone. Look forward to seeing you on another one soon.